Camera.
Rolling.
Yeah.
Take two. Okay, good morning everybody. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker this morning. Bart Hutchison is from the Animal Welfare League. Don't know a great deal about him, even though I am sitting next to him at breakfast. However, I do know he has a really good dog called Evie, I think. Same dog as mine, called Bear. So, warm welcome to Bart. Thank you very much for coming to talk to us, and we'll look forward to hearing what you have to say.
Good morning everyone, my name is Bart. As you already know, I'm from the Animal Welfare League. This is actually my first presentation, so if I sound a little bit wonky, just please excuse me on that one, but we'll see how we go. Okay, so I'm from the Animal Welfare League of Queensland. We are the Queensland body of an Australia-wide organisation called the Animal Welfare League of Australia. Each state runs independently, but we are part of an organisation that allows us to span our reach across Australia to be able to help animals right across Australia. Our main focus, of course, is Southeast Queensland at this time, with hopefully in the future, you know, the ability to expand that area, that base. So who we are? The Animal Welfare League of Queensland was established in 1959 at Southport, and since then we've rehomed over 130,000 animals. Okay, we are one of the largest shelters both in Queensland and Australia. We are a non-for-profit charitable organisation that receives no government funding for its welfare work. That's one of our main differences to the RSPCA. A lot of people ask us what's the difference. There are two main differences between ourselves and the RSPCA. One is that they have an enforcement arm, which we don't have. Our main core focus is rehoming animals. And also they receive government funding, which we don't receive. As I mentioned, our core focus is rehoming animals. A lot of the animals that we receive, which you'll see in a future slide, is often through no fault of their own, no fault of the owner. It's just a change in life circumstance. Yes, we do receive abuse cases. Yes, we do receive strays and abandons, but we also receive a lot of surrender dogs that are, or cats, I should say, sorry, that the owners need to move. They need to go interstate for a new job, family breakup, change in financial situations, and rather than those animals being left out in the just literally people opening their front door or front gate and saying shoo, they bring them into us. And so one of our core focuses, one of our core beliefs in the Animal Welfare League is that we don't judge. You know, we accept that our doors are open to animals anytime, and you know, we're there for the animals, and so we look for new homes, and that's what we do. That's our core focus. So how are we structured? The AWLQ, known as the Animal Welfare League of Queensland, is directed by Honorary Management Committee elected from our membership at the annual general meeting. Full-time employees, including myself, include administrative staff, animal staff, veterinary staff and qualified professionals. We have 2 community veterinary clinics, one both here and one up in Ipswich. The profits from the community veterinary clinics go back into the shelters to help fund the shelters, because as I mentioned earlier on, we don't receive that government funding. So that's one of the ways we're able to keep rolling. But we also, you know, need to look at things like donations, you know, donation tins that when you go into shopping centres, you'll see that. A lot of, you know, fundraising events such as barbecues or whatever we need to do to be able to get those funds through the door to support the animals. What we stand for. We believe no animal should die just because there are not enough available homes. You know, that we're talking about euthanasia there, such as through certain pounds around the place. I'm not talking about the Gold Coast pound, because the Gold Coast pound actually works with us. When an animal comes into the Gold Coast pound, they have a period of time to be reclaimed. After that time, they come over to us, and then from there we look for rehomes. But other pounds are around, you know, all through Australia. They have euthanasia policies when animals aren't reclaimed. They're left to for a very short period of time to be rehomed, and after that, unfortunately, they're euthanized. Our goal is to bring an end to euthanasia of a healthy companion animal. We're working towards this goal through rehoming, community veterinary clinics, community school education, and low-cost desexing programs. So, where do our animals come from? I've already touched on this. General public surrenders due to various reasons: relationship breakdowns, unavailable rental property, financial restraints, people needing to move interstate for work, or you know, retirees that move into a retirement village where they have a no pet policy. You know, so these things do happen. And the other one, as I mentioned, the Gold Coast City Pound. Unclaimed animals transfer across to the AWLQ for rehoming. So when I believe the animals are there for about 3 days to be reclaimed. After 3 days, they're brought across to us. From there, they go into quarantine for disease control reasons. Once they clear quarantine, then they go through an assessment period where they're both assessed physically and mentally to make sure that they are rehomable. And because unfortunately, every now and then you do get an animal that does have some issues, and we need to work on those issues. You know, for example, greyhounds come through, they also have teething problems from not being fed properly, or they're very, very shy, so they may go out to foster for a period of time, and where somebody will take them out and foster and work with their personality, bring them out of the shell before we look at rehoming them. Okay, and then then we look to put them out for a new home. So what happens next? As I mentioned, our staff assesses each animal on its suitability for rehoming, including health and temperament assessment by qualified staff. Animals deemed suitable are desexed, vaccinated, microchipped, and made available for adoption. Desexing is key, and the reason for that is because we believe that it's not right for animals to be going out into the community where they are able to breed and create more unwanted puppies and kittens, and it just prolongs the cycle. So all our animals go out desexed, vaccinated, microchipped. They're also flea treated, worm treated. So when they go out with as much health. They go out basically, for lack of a better term, drive away, no more to pay, if you know what I mean, from a car term. And once we decide to rehome an animal, it stays with us until it's adopted. We place no time limit on finding a good home. This is also very, very important to us. It's one of our core beliefs in the Animal Welfare League. Recently, one animal that went home was one that was very close to my heart. His name was Hugo, beautiful greyhound. And I started at the Animal Welfare League as a volunteer, going in there walking the dogs, but I have a marketing background, and I made that known to the Animal Welfare League, and when a position opened up, they offered it to me, and here I am. But when I first started there as a volunteer, Hugo, I had never really had any contact with greyhounds. And I'd always thought to myself, who would want a greyhound for a pet? And Hugo changed my mind. Absolutely gorgeous boy, really placid, really gentle, just all he wanted to do was be with people. Fantastic dog. And Hugo sat there for quite some time. And he was there for probably about 7 or 8 months. And he recently went home to a really nice young lady, it was her first dog. And I actually know for a fact that he's being spoiled rotten because she lives just around the corner from one of our vet nurses. And she sees him all the time out on his walks and things along those lines. And, you know, I know he's landed on his feet there. But, you know, this is what I'm talking about, is that we place no time limit. You know, when we looked at we have a nominal fee for the rehoming. The money from that goes into helping more animals, of course. Part of it is also, you know, just being able to help fund the Animal Welfare League. But that nominal fee didn't even come anywhere close to covering the rehoming costs on Hugo. But we didn't care because we loved him, and that's who we are, and that's what we do. So, as I said, no time limit. So, okay, I won't go through all of these. I actually have these slides printed out on pieces on some paper, so I'll give everyone a copy before you leave. You can take it home and read through this. But there are a couple of key points on this. That in 2005, the AWL had a euthanasia policy, had to euthanize 19% of dogs received and 43% of cats received. 2007, that dropped down to 1% of dogs and 22% of cats. but since May in 2009,